Good afternoon, all friends and family who have joined for 26th edition of Business Opportunity Over Chai webinar series, a platform through which Franchise India every day is presenting one premium brand we are so proud of. We have privilege and we welcome our panelist, Chairman Franchise India, Gaurav sir, and our MD Sonia ma'am for this particular session. As usual, they will share their insights, their feedbacks, and their learning with each one of us. Brand of the day is MAB Aviations, and we have privilege to interact with founder and MD Mandar sir and CEO Arvind sir for this particular session. We welcome both of you for a great session ahead. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir. Over to you, Arvind sir. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us. Thanks.
Can you please pass on the controls to me? Yeah. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. And I hope you and your families are safe and healthy. I am Arvind Jadhav, CEO of MAB Aviation. And today in this brand session, joining with me is Mandar, the founder and managing director of MAB Aviation, and Dr. Abhay, who is our chief medical officer. So I would like to quickly run you through, MAB Aviation, what we do, who we are, and then move on to the service offering for the franchise partners. And there I would like to focus more in detail so that you all get a first-hand detailed information about what our proposition is. So about us, MAB Aviation was established in 2009 and is one of the most reputed luxurious helicopter and airplane charter services in India. We are headquartered in Mumbai and we have a pan-India presence. We have a wide range of services from business jets to helicopters to air ambulances. We have our own air operator permit, and now we have recently ventured into a full-scale air ambulance service where we are leveraging on our immense chartering experience. Basically, the air ambulance business that we are going to talk about today is a very virgin market in India. And as you all must be aware that the potential is almost untapped. So we want to set a footprint in the service space and we carry a very strong vision, and we certainly have a very strong business plan in place. As I mentioned, we are licensed to fly. This is our air operator permit. Just to give you a background, to get an air operator permit, normally an company takes not less than 2.5 years. So it's a very long process. It is a tedious process, and we have successfully achieved getting our operator permit. This is our leadership team. We have Mandar, whom I have introduced you earlier. He's the managing director and founder of MAB Aviation. He has over 12 years of experience, and he's a great visionary. He's got a very strong entrepreneurial mindset, and he has a lot of business concepts in terms of aviation up his sleeves. So I mean, that's what drives the aviation industry, the company that we are. We have Yogesh, who is a director in the company. He has good years of experience. He basically manages the entire operations and is an accountable manager. He holds a DGCA post of an accountable manager. That's me. I have more than 30 years of experience in diverse roles and diverse fields. I have recently joined MAB Aviation, which is about a year back. And so moving on to our core team, Captain Arpit, he's the one who looks after our flight operations, and he's our chief pilot. Pradeep Kumar, he's the director of engineering. He carries a lot of experience with him, 39 years plus, and he holds an approved DGCA post for quality manager. Rohit Mali, he is the continuing airworthiness manager. He has achieved to be a CAM at a very early age. So with 6 years of experience, he's done a fabulous job. Swapnil, he's our chief security officer, and he also manages all the flight operations for us. He's a very highly motivated person as well. Well, this is our brand, MedicalFlight. Today we are going to talk a lot about this. It's an air ambulance service, and MedicalFlight, as it says, it's one of the first brand that we are going to launch in India as a pan-India presence. Our basic mission is to build a professional and affordable pan-India network of air ambulance fleet for every class of citizen to provide a reliable, efficient, and accessible patient transport service. So that's our mission. And our vision is to make the MedicalFlight brand India's first professional air ambulance business, covering every airport base within the country. So that's what we look forward to. Interestingly, if you look at our tagline, it's 99.99 is not equal to 100. So I think we are probably the only ones who have this tagline, which speaks only in numbers. There are no words there, and we seriously mean it because we strive to achieve perfection. So it's that 0.01 is what we always look forward to cover up. Moving on. Just to give you a quick overview on the global statistics regarding the air ambulance service. So the first pie graph that you see, it's a market share by an aircraft type. So there are only two types of aircraft, so which is fixed wing and rotary wing. So in a rotary wing, you see the blue section, the dark blue section. That's this kind of service offered by helicopters. And the sky blue section is where it's fixed wing, air ambulance services. Why you see more of helicopters is pressed into this service is because of worldwide emergency rescue operations take place. Accident victims are lifted from the highways. So the number of helicopters involved in air ambulance service is more. Also, if you see as independent or private players, the global market is about $500 million industry. So it's huge. And below you would see a trend which is based on the rotary and the fixed wing aircrafts, where you see that the growth is phenomenal. And by 2025, we are seeing a peak where it's increasing at an alarming rate. So there is huge potential, is what I would like to say. Key challenges in the air ambulance space. Through our research and our practical experience, we have come across all the challenges and we have noted them down so that you guys come to know as to what are the kind of challenges that exist in this particular space. So no aviation company basically has a dedicated 24/7 air ambulance service, and it's a fact. Okay. None have an all-India reach, and very few aircrafts are available in a ready-to-fly medical configuration condition. So there are no dedicated aircrafts that are medical configured ready. There is also a lack of specialized trained staffs who understand the intricacies or the nuances of how to operate an air ambulance service. There is also a lot of scarcity of aircrafts, which in the medical aviation sector, which makes at a very unviable and an unaffordable kind of segment. The rejection rate, if I have to mention, it's through our own experience, the rejection rate has been out of 10 inquiries that we receive per day. For example, we have to refuse 9 inquiries because, again, there are no aircrafts that are available to service these rest 9. Or maybe they are just, through the chain, they're just exorbitantly, it becomes expensive and the customer then backs out. There is basically a lack of institutional structure is what we have found. There is a lot of inexperience involved. And that's the reason when, as the quote floats, it is, it lands up to the customer with an exorbitant rate. Most of the times it so happens that it takes at least 10 hours to confirm that there is an aircraft that is available, and also to, kind of give a quote to a customer. And then by the time it is quite late for the customer to take a decision. Moving on the key challenges, there is one more issue that normally is faced. The local presence. India is a diverse country. A lot of languages are involved. There is no one who can communicate in the local language and explain what the service is all about, and and engage the customer to take benefit of this service. Also, there is no availability, or there is no mechanism that is in place which provides kind of a facility for patients or their families to pay the money. So there is, there are, in remote areas, there is no facility or knowledge base where you can have online kind of payments done. The other major challenge is aircraft maintenance. So keeping the aircraft in good flying condition is very, very important, and this is exactly what is lacking with the unorganized operators in the country. Now, our key differentiators. So basically, this is the differentiators, or how we are different. This gives us the first mover's edge, and that's where we want to capitalize on the medical aviation market. So what are these factors which we have tried to mitigate based on the challenges that I just spoke about? So air ambulance basically is an essential service, so the demand will never stop. We as MAB Aviation, we are a very well organized company. We have a 24/7 operations and a pan-India presence for the air ambulance service. We have dedicated aircrafts which are in medical configuration, and we are always ready to fly anytime an inquiry or a flight is activated. We have a central command control center, which takes care of all customer inquiries as well as the flight execution schedule. We have a very highly experienced team of crew, paramedics, and of course the operations team, who takes care of every aspect in the process end to end. We follow very stringent SOPs for aircraft maintenance. So all this, the daily checks, which is called the C checks, all the schedule checks, and any repairs, they're all followed with very, very strict controls and quality control. The best part is this particular business model. It's based on 100% advance payment, so there is no question of any bad debts. What I mean is, any inquiry that comes to us, if the deal structure, if the deal is finalized, the flight is never activated until and unless we receive 100% payment. So the payment is assured, and then we deliver the service. Just to make a mention, the air ambulance project, it was announced in the Make in India event about a couple of years ago, and it kind of was very much appreciated by the then chief minister, and the concept has kind of already become a talk of the town. Well, these are basically our 6 pillar of strengths. We strongly believe in the seal of trust. That's what we offer. It's an entirely reliable and superior service standards that we maintain at all times. And the second part, the strength is our customer support, which we feel is our strength because it's a 24 by customer service support, and uh, the response times are very quick. You would just to give you an example, if an inquiry comes to us for a quotation, we send the quotation in flat 4 minutes. That's the average time. So there's no waiting. Similarly, any other kind of customer support services are looked after or attended to very quickly. We are a professional and a reliable organization. We follow every aspect of safety and comfort. Safety is very important in the aviation sector. So we are very conscious about that. We believe in offering on-time service, of course, barring certain instances where it is beyond our control. But we get back to you or the customer where they are informed that there are going to be delays, and so the communication is always there. And the sixth strength that we have is our expert team of the crew, the operations team, and the team of doctors and paramedics. This is our business model. The medical flight business model is something that I want to present to you. Medical flight, as I mentioned, is our air ambulance brand. Currently, we have 2 aircrafts that are in service, and we have already booked 2 CJ2 jets, which are in the process of induction, and we hope that by the end of June we should have them on board. So basically, this is our vision. We visualize that we want to have aircrafts, at least 10 medically configured aircrafts in every 500 kilometers across the span of India, so that we can cater to every corner of the country. So that's what we are visualizing, and this is, of course, we're going to try and achieve this in a phased manner. We are, like I said, we are already on it. We're inducting 2 aircrafts more, and over the period of 2 years, we should at least have 10 plus aircrafts stationed, deployed in different areas of the country, so that it's easier for the connect and for offering the service. We already have a 24/7 call center setup, which takes care of all the customer requests. We basically want to develop and build a strong franchisee network effectively, which would cover all airport bases across the country. So wherever there's an airport in the country, from my understanding, there are closer to 300 airports. So what we want to do is capture the entire or promote our air ambulance brand in the region where there's an airport. So that's where we want to have the franchising model or the network created at every airport base. And that's our objective, our key objective, where the air ambulance service will be promoted. We also are looking forward to, or rather are in the process of doing strong tie-ups with hospitals across India, so that we have, specialists, the medical specialists already ready. Whenever there's a need, if in a particular region, we need to deploy the medical team. they are available because we already have contracts back to back with them. And as a futuristic, idea or another product that we would want to eventually get into is an insurance-based service, which will be offered to all the people in the country, which is the next business idea, is what we look at. All right, as we all are aware, COVID-19 is the new normal. We cannot escape from it. It's here to stay for a very long time, and we will have to learn to live with it, at least for the next few years. Uh, Having said that, during this lockdown, it's been almost plus 60 plus days now. All the other airlines were grounded, but we as MAB Aviation were doing a lot of flying. We were extremely busy flying all medical patients, which are non-COVID, of course, across the country. Uh, all types of patients, cancer patients who needed chemotherapies. The facility wasn't available at their local place. Surgeries, planned surgeries, sudden surgeries, post-surgery recoveries. So we have, patients who have already undergone surgeries and now they want to, just go through recoveries. So they want to go from Mumbai to, say, Jaipur. They're resident of Jaipur. So that transport. So it is sitting patient transport. Pregnant women, also newborn babies, critical care. So a lot of various types of non-COVID patients we have served, and we continue to serve each day. Uh, Having said that, one of the thoughts that we strongly feel is, in the current COVID era, the non-COVID patients would be facing a lot of, distress, because the entire focus is going to be on COVID, COVID-19, and so people with other, treatment requirements where they, like I said, surgeries or heart attacks, or it could be cancer, chemotherapy, whatever it is. People in that segment, they are huge if we really see, but they would be in a neglected stage for the next coming months or years. Uh, so that's where we think, we are going to play a major role, because if they want to travel for better treatment, better healthcare facilities, uh, they are going to be extremely cautious now to travel by land or, by train. Crowd, they wouldn't want to get into a crowded place, or travel, with the crowd. So I think the air ambulance, they would prefer to take an air ambulance going forward. And hence, in tier one, tier two cities, this is going to be a very high potential. They are going to carry a high potential in terms of using the air ambulance service, including the remote areas as well. Okay, need for a franchise partner. Why we want to get or develop the franchise network? So basically, like I mentioned earlier, we want to reach out to every airport base in the country, and we want to have our presence there. So we have completely planned ourselves. We are ready for franchising, and we are ready to serve your regions, your respective regions, for whatever sales or leads that you would create from those regions. We basically want to bring about a very big change in terms of being the first movers of our brand in the country, to onboard franchise partners. So it's something unique. It's the first time it's happening in our country, and we want to be the first to be doing that and capture the entire aeromedical transport market. We have developed a lot of goodwill over the years of our brand, and now that's exactly what we want to do: promote it and reach out to new locations. Um, like I mentioned earlier as well, the trend is it's a surging trend. The demand potential is very high, and so this is an opportunity for us to generate additional revenue and income, by leveraging or taking advantage of the requirement or the demand in terms of air ambulance service. People would definitely now look forward to it. The offer that we have is basically, it's a very low investment scheme, and it will generate a lot of revenue and growth. It has a very high growth potential. All that you have to do is, just promote and promote the service or the brand in your local area, and which will be, of course, an exclusive region, and just generate the leads and the sales, and you make money. Typically, how would this work? How would the franchise partner role work? So, this is the value chain of the air ambulance service at a very high level. The regional marketing is something that the franchise partner would be doing. They have to get in touch with hospitals, doctors, so wherever there's an airport, that would be that would be your region. The periphery would be defined as we go region by region, and you need to promote your product, with the hospitals and doctors, generate leads, get a sales quote from us. So whatever is in blue is with the company, whatever is in black is the role of the franchise partner. So once you get a sales quote from us, you finalize the deal. Flight coordination is done by us. Flight is activated, and the air ambulance flight is executed. So the first three, or rather 2.5 elements of the process is something that the franchise partner will have to be responsible for. As support from our company, this is the kind of partner support that we would be offering to our franchise partners. Service portfolio, of course, and marketing and customer pull support. So that's something where we would, kind of give a backing for you to kind of, do a customer pull support, call center and technology support, training and development. So we will initially give you a complete detailed orientation program, make you go through it. It's a very simple model, so nothing very, out of the world kind of efforts. But so the training is going to be simple. It's a very straightforward thing. We would also give franchisees a certification that you are a franchisee. And of course, digital marketing support, which will work, to promote the or boost in promoting the product and the service. I would like to spend some detailed time on this particular slide. It's basically the proposal that we want to make to our franchisee partners. So it's a very low cost opportunity. Actually, you spend or you need to invest 2 lakh rupees. What are the franchise partner requirements? So it's basically the franchise partner needs to be available 24/7, needs to carry a smartphone. Of course, we all have them now. They will get an exclusive region to operate. Of course, that exclusivity will remain based on the targets that have been set, and they are very, very achievable and realistic targets. And so as long as those targets are met, the exclusivity remains, or else there would be discussions with the partner on how to try and help them get the targets, or maybe introduce someone else as well. So that's being very clear. You can work from home. There's no office required. You can do any other businesses that you are already into, or go in for new businesses, or if you're working or you're in a job, you continue with that. So it's an additional income opportunity. You can do the promotion, the brand promotion on your own, or you can, even if you feel you want to appoint a staff, but you'll have to do that at your own expense. And the other expense would be the marketing collaterals and travel expense. That would be the additional investment that you will have to do on an ongoing basis. meeting the hospitals, going to the doctors, all of that, or the coordination airport if there is a flight activated. So we will have to be kind of a helping hand in doing the coordination. Rest everything, of course, we will do, but your presence would be very valuable for your particular flights. So coming to the total investment, the total investment is about 7 lakhs, which is in a breakup of 5 lakhs and 2 lakhs. The 5 lakh element is basically a refundable security deposit. So this is a security deposit that we'll be taking from every franchise partner. It when the contract ends, or if any parties wish to terminate the contract, it will be refunded back to the investor, but without the interest. The reason we want to take the security deposit is because, like I mentioned earlier, our flights or our business model operates on 100% payment. So most of the times what is going to happen is you're going to be the front end person. The client or the customer, your sales lead are going to pay you upfront. It could be in cash, it could be a direct transfer to your bank. And in case it is in cash, so a direct transfer can happen to our account as well. But in case it's in cash, then it's just to protect the customer. This is the security deposit that we would like to retain at our end. Franchise fee is of 2 lakh rupees. This is a non-refundable fee, and I'm not sure if you can see the bottom side of the slide, but there are two elements: the sales fees or your commission. If it is a direct sale, so if you generate the lead and give us the sales, then we pay 7% on the sales value, so the entire invoice that is generated. And if it is an indirect lead, we still want you to earn money. And what we want you to do is, if a direct lead, say from our website, or if it comes from any other source from your region, then we would like to route the sales query, the sales inquiry to you. And in that case, you will be paid 3.5%. So it is a win-win in that situation as well. So we want to look after our franchise partners very well. So if an inquiry comes from their region, their respective region, it will be you will be part of that deal. Like I mentioned, if it is directly from you, you will get 7%. If it's an indirect sales, it will be 3.5%. I hope I'm clear in explaining this. Financial projections. Average revenue, if I consider per flight as 5.5 lakhs, if that's the average that we normally make flights of 3.5 lakhs, can go right up to 16 and 18 lakhs depending. So the flight or the revenue per flight depends completely on the sector of travel. So if it is a Mumbai-Goa flight, probably it will be 3.5 lakhs. If it is a Mumbai-Guwahati flight for a transfer, patient transfer, or the other way around, it can even go to a very, very high number. So average, what I'm saying is, I've considered as 5.5 lakhs as the revenue. The calculations that I'm going to present to you in the financial projections are done at a very, very conservative level. So this is the bare minimum that we feel you can certainly achieve this. Each franchise partner who is associated with this will definitely be able to achieve this. So year one, if you see, what I considered is an increase of 50,000 of revenue per flight year on year. So year one is 5.5 lakhs. Second year you'll see is 6 lakhs, and so on and so forth. The annual growth rate is at 10%. So 18 flights. So in the first year, if you look at the third table, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four is just a gradual increase of sales that I've considered per franchise partner. Initially, maybe in the first quarter, you may, since it's a new thing, you would probably get just 2 sales. Second quarter, 4. So that's the assumption. And so over a period of 1 year, the first year, it would, if I say that 18 flights, which I think is at a very conservative level, is what I'm presenting. So those are the revenue numbers that you see on your screen. On the income calculation, the project cost, basically the franchise fee, like I mentioned, is 2 lakhs plus GST. So it's 2,36,000. The working capital that you would require is security deposit refundable, which is 5 lakhs. Initial marketing expense of 25,000 is for your collaterals or whatever that you would need. So 25,000 rupees. So total to 5,25,000. Speaking of the income projections, so like I mentioned, the direct sales 7%, indirect sales 3.5%. You'll still get that. Year one, that is what are the numbers. Average monthly revenue that I see in year one is about 55,000. If you achieve a simple target as 18, anywhere about 16 to 18 flights in a year, and I think that's very, very conservative and achievable. Speaking of the return on investment and the profitability, so the income statement, the revenue, sales, direct sales, and the indirect sales is out there. Expenses, I have added miscellaneous per month expense of 15,000, which includes probably your travel. It could be your car, fuel, whatever it is, or maybe you may appoint someone to help you as a helping hand to promote the product. So 15,000 a month. That's the expense I have considered. And the franchise fee. So speaking of that, the ROI numbers you can see for yourself, and the cumulative ROI numbers. The payback period that we feel is about 7 months for you to recover your money, your investment, your direct investment rather. So this is, I think, very much achievable. It's realistic. You probably, if you do more sales, 7 months can come down as well. It's just on the performance of how you go about your performance and your numbers, sales numbers. We are always in the news for the good reasons, and we have done a lot of air ambulance transfers. We have done a lot of organ transfers. So these are just few of the testimonials, and that's about it. So I hope you have enjoyed the session, and let's move on to the Q&A section. Thank you.
Thanks, Arvind. This is very helpful for all our listeners and our audience. You rightly said that the whole air ambulance business is very nascent in India. It's very mature in other parts of the world, especially in US and Europe. It's very, very prevalent. Rather, a lot of healthcare brands have their own private capabilities. They build helicopters and jets and so on and so forth, and a lot happens there, and it's kind of a full-blown industry. India, for various reasons, this has never been done. One, I think there was no specialized company operating it, then lack of infrastructure, and then also alignment with the healthcare facilities was not there. And now, I mean, we all talk about the connectivity India has. India has 220 airports and one of the largest airport penetration in the world. It looks like that we don't have, but now I think with the new making airports inclusive, so I think there are multiple other airports also available. So it connects India very well. So even what you said, that you will start with 10 jets, and even if there's an opportunity goes to 100 jets or 100 different crafts, I think there's a bigger opportunity available. So before we get into the discussion, I would like to take up a few points, and if you can, because our audience is asking a lot of questions, and this forum we have created to have strong discussions in terms of a business model, so that whosoever is looking to invest in a business model like this has more clarity and understands the business in detail. So my first question is really about the business model itself. I mean, let's go deeper in the business model and try to understand what is an opportunity size and how you have done some analytics where you know that there is overall demand size is what, and currently who's servicing that demand, and if it is not servicing, what is the alternative patients are using currently. So my question is that how many daily flights people would have to take for if this availability of all your jets infrastructure is available, what is an opportunity size available and how currently it is addressed? So
I would suggest Mandar, would you like to take this?
Yeah. Thank you. See, as Arvind mentioned in his presentation, we are getting 10 calls every day and we are only managing to serve one call because of we are new. We have recently started inducting the aircrafts, and by the way, there is no whatsoever marketing which is available in any part of India. So considering all these things, we know that there is a business. We are inducting aircraft so aggressively, means I want to bring it to your notice that all the businesses, they are sitting back, they are defensive, and we are the only one who are aggressively buying aircrafts and coming forward with a very aggressive plan because demand is there. First thing is we need these franchisee partners because this demand is from across India. Even a small tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, we are getting calls every day. And I saw a couple of questions which are there in people which ask these questions. Try to understand there are, as you rightly mentioned, 280, there are official airports available. Then there are military airports, there are private airports. So practically, we have selected the aircrafts which can practically land on all the airports, airstrips available in India. So the number is almost every district place, we have one airstrip. And we are getting inquiries from there. We are operating on those small airstrips, lifting the patient and bringing it to a better medical facility. So there are about 300 airports presently available for medical flights. So yeah, that's the thing.
So very helpful, and now my second question really moves in, because if the demand is much higher than what you're able to fulfill, is it because of your lesser capacity being available today, or you have a last mile connectivity issue, pricing issue, and so on and so forth? Why this demand which has been available has not been seen by any other operator in the market? Because this is a high ticket product, and private charter itself is a very high ticket product and has a high margin product. And so where do you think why it is not being currently run? My question first. Second question is, if you can, because this is a per aircraft throughput. So what is the aircraft throughput in a month basis? So which means that a single aircraft can do how many round trips, and what you would say that is an optimum performance of per aircraft?
Well, optimum performance per aircraft is somewhere 2.5 charter every day. So see, to cover about 80 to support 80 flights is something which is easily achievable target. So we are, all the projections are based on this is a first milestone to serve 80 patients per aircraft per month. That is the target.
If I take a conservative structure and say take per aircraft 50, because the business would grow, and you have currently 2 and you're getting 2 more, and would have been maybe capacity of 4 craft. So you can easily say that about 200 patient round trip capacity you would have been built over next 2 to 3 months. And so our audience should understand that in 2 months time, you will be ready to service that kind of size. So everybody, if somebody starts multiple franchises in the market, so there would be a capability for you to service that.
Correct. That's correct.
Another question is, do you see that analysis, because the cities can be very different, and we're getting inquiries from people writing from Chennai, they're writing for Pune, they're writing for Hyderabad, and they're also writing for very tier 2, tier 3 cities. Now, in your model, it's an exclusive model. Per airport, you have one franchisee. And it would shift because the person in Chennai might get a bigger business or bigger opportunity, both by affordability, by the size of market, and versus a Rajkot, which is a smaller city and might not be able to get that kind of number. So what is your parameters on that?
No, businesses are available in both the cities. Means Chennai people, they will get basically a business where there are incoming patients. Whereas Rajkot, you will find where there are outgoing patients. From Rajkot hospital to maybe a Chennai, Mumbai or a Delhi hospital. So the movement is both way, number one. Number two is our experience so far is more business is at smaller cities where people want to go from local hospitals to more advanced hospitals. So it's not that the opportunity is only for big cities. Basically, the better opportunity is there for smaller cities. So to establish as a franchisee in a tier 2 city is more easy than to establish it in a bigger cities.
Sure. Now, my final question on the business model is, the acquisition of the patient normally would happen from either a smaller hospital or a doctor who recommends that, or sometimes it is through your marketing. But marketing would not work because whenever you feel that you are in some form of emergency and you were with the physician who would then advise you, say, this is a time for you to take a specialist opinion or would need to take a flight. Now, anytime a medical professional or a hospital or anybody recommends, they also have their own commissions. So they work on allied services, whatever services are allied for them. Even today, a lot of other services are allied to these, hospitals. They have their own commission. They're what I call the acquisition cost. So now, if a franchisee gets 7% and he has to part some part of that to the doctor or the hospital, then nothing would be left for him. Because the business model is, even if you do from, I've seen your projection, while it is a very conservative projection, you've taken 1.5 cases in a month to about, say, 2 cases or 2.5 cases kind of a throughput. Out of 2 cases, 1.5 case means average billing would be 6-7 lakh rupees, and somebody said a calculation, 7% of that would become a certain number, which means 70,000-80,000 rupees, maybe 60,000-70,000 rupees. And out of that, you have to do some marketing, you have some direct costs, and you have to give commission. So it's a very little left. And I understand your point that you have kept 5 lakh rupees as a deposit because you want to make sure that if somebody on your behalf picks up money and doesn't do the service, you have a risk. But I think from an investor viewpoint also, he counts that as an investment because that money is blocked and it's not earning money for him. So either we do something on that 5 lakh rupees to bring that value up, then people can quickly convert and we can create some other instrument to get deposit. And if it is, then how do we address this situation of these commissions which are being given in the market so that the business model can become a little more attractive for a franchisee? And if it is able to scale, then obviously there is a much bigger opportunity for all of us.
See, whatever we have projected, as Arvind rightly said, it is basically the worst case scenario. Let me tell you, a small cities like Raipur, okay, they are sending we don't have any representation there. We don't have any marketing, no tie-up, nothing. We are executing rather 10 flights a month. We don't have any representation. They are coming through us, through websites and everything. A small city like Raigad, again, which is there in Chhattisgarh, we are executing a 1 flight a week to that destination. So the thing is, whatever projections we have given, it's something which even if you are not performing, what you are going to earn out of this project. That's number one. Number two is you are not calculating a major thing. If we decide that this is a franchisee, say for a Raigad, we are already serving there for serving 4 times a month without any marketing. If you started if someone putting efforts, serious efforts to reach up to 8 to 10 patients in a first or second month is very, very easy. So If you ask me, and it is not there in a presentation, and we always prefer to be very, very conservative while giving any commitment. The entire business model is based on to a very, very small franchisee who is giving us a service, let's say from Orissa or from Chhattisgarh or from West Bengal, should earn at least 3 lakh rupees a month. The entire projection is based on that. And 3 lakh rupees will be his apart from all his expenses, this is something which we are targeting that he should earn. And there is a potential. Almost in all the airports, there is a potential.
Is there a commission available for these doctors and hospitals?
See, the simple thing is the 7%, see, there is one advantage. You try to understand. The first advantage is there will be only one MRP. We always experience it that people, the client who my franchisee convinced, then somewhere he will Google, come to us and then say, okay, can you give us a quote? So first is we are not changing our quote, whosoever is calling. So that there will be one MRP. Second is 7%. That is about, say, it's a charter value, say 5 lakh rupees. If it's a charter value, there is a good amount is already available with him. See, I cannot assess that what doctors are expecting. I cannot assess that what hospitals are expecting. That's the reason we want a franchisee who can assess that how to accommodate in that. And that is enough, is what is our experience. That is really enough.
Sure. So 2 more questions and then I'll pass to Sonia. One is, which are the main hospitals you've tied up with today? Because, and where do you see, because people move for critical illness and pay that kind of money, especially in India. Is any big healthcare companies you've already tied up, like Apollo or, any other big brands which are inviting? And that's one part. Second, is there a health insurance coverage in this? Is any health insurances are covering this cost as or partial cost on that? And third is this also international piece available? Because a lot of people go for, and especially Middle East wants to now come to India or other parts, because we have also a lot of franchisees who might be interested in other sectors. Bangladesh is sending a lot of patients to India, and Nepal is sending a lot of patients to India. Is this also available?
Yeah. So number one is, see, try to understand. We have engaged hospitals if at all we need a medical help from them. As far as the marketing part is concerned, we are giving a full freedom only to our franchises. So if there is a Apollo hospital available in any city and my franchisees are getting business from Apollo hospital, it will be a business through our franchisee, not through Apollo hospital. So as far as the marketing is concerned, it is our policy decision that we are not going to get any hospital on board to number one. So these the regions which we are discussing, from there, we are only going to accept the business through our franchises. So I think that is a clear thing. So it's not that a franchisee is there and hospital marketing separately, or because that's a big brand, so they will get a additional benefit. No, we have not engaged any hospital as far as the patients are concerned. So let me clear it loud and clear. So we might get, so there will be instances that we might get a medical team from hospital, but a business will be routed through our franchisee partners. One. Second is, as far as the insurance is concerned, our talks are in a final stage, and we are negotiated, very well negotiated, and we're going to announce very soon that there will be a special insurance packages. We will market it through our franchisee partners only, and they will have an extra advantage on a rate, premiums and everything, that there will be a cashless insurance given by a reputed insurance companies executed by MedicalFlight. So that will be an additional business opportunity available to all our franchisees partner very soon, that there will be insurance packages, they can sell it into an open market. Third is international flights. These citation jets, they are there because they are good to cover, to bring patients from Gulf, from Nepal, from Dhaka, from Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, and all that part. We are parallelly working on those lines, and very soon we will have all the permits to operate and accept international patients.
Which is very helpful, very, very helpful. I think that's a huge opportunity, and I don't know why India has never unlocked that opportunity of medical tourism. We can be one of the largest hubs, especially for Middle East, Africa, parts of Asian, Southeast Asia. India can really be working on that. So I would like to invite now Sonia to take up her questions and her remark on the industry and the category.
Thank you so much, Mandaji, for your insights, and thank you so much, Arvindji. I think these were very wonderful insights that you gave overall on the industry and your business model in specific. And I personally feel the technological advancement that healthcare has made in the last few years, along with the big interest today, which is coming from the patients, they're inclined towards faster and very efficient modes of transportation, are driving this particular industry. And we also see this very well integrated in the modern healthcare system that today we are living in, and very important for time-deprived patients and more for the treatments, I would say, which are both emergency treatments and a lot of elective treatments today, which would start happening, which people have put on hold for the last 2 or 3 odd months. And we see that in all the reports which have started coming, especially post-lockdown. My first question to you would be on the competition. You know, we know there are not many players today in the industry. There are very few who are operating in this segment. This month itself, I read about one of the competitors in Bombay itself. This is MAB Air Ambulance, which is MAB Aviation. They've launched a program which is also a cashless air ambulance services. They claim to be the first ones to launch that. And we also saw SpiceJet, the SpiceCare, which have launched at a very competitive prices of 95,000 per hour kind of services for the patients who want to look at taking these services. So how competitive we are at this point in time, and what is our, I would say, added advantage or value proposition for an end customer to look at services from MAB?
See, you mentioned 2 brands. So let me assure you one thing, that none of the brand have their own air ambulances, or none of them have their license to operate. So we are serving both the brands. They are they are hiring us to serve their patients. So that's something which I want to bring to your notice. Second is, as far as that membership program is concerned, see, there are many internet jokers available, and we are also competing with those jokers. I'm sorry to use these words. This membership program and everything, it's completely illegal. You cannot do that. You are not allowed. The best legal advisors, they are against it. So this is something like the schemes and whatever they are floated on a market. It's something that they will be there for next couple of days and will be vanished. I can assure you. So third is competition. Yes, we are eagerly waiting for a serious player who really want to come with a good business plan and who really want to serve their patients. There are about, let me be very frank with you, there are about 67 online companies already there selling air ambulance projects. You do it, you ask them what is their call signs, what is the aircraft, what is the doctor's professions, and then most of them, they will simply stop accepting your calls. So I don't want to comment more on that. Rather, this is something which is a triggering point for us when we came to know that there are only agents, there are only people. There are many stories already available on Google that there are many companies, they came forward, they booked the air, got the money, and then they simply vanished and service was not there. So that is something where we found an opportunity. There is a big space for serious players, and you take my word, as of now, there might be only 1 or 2 who are at least planning to go ahead with a serious business plans. And as Arvind mentioned earlier, it's a 2.5 hours. You need a 2.5 years to get your basic license. So our nearest competitor is 2.5 years away from us. And as far as the SpiceJet is concerned, as I told you, yeah, we are serving them. So
Okay, Manoj, I think that's very helpful. The other is on the pricing. You would have more understanding. Is that pricing very competitive? Because we did saw in the newspapers, SpiceJet is offering 95,000 per hour against the services, which is an average of 3.5 lakhs that we talked about in the presentation. So how competitive these services are, I can understand. Maybe in the long term, you being a vintage player, you will have an edge. But for an immediate need and from the cost perspective, as this is a very high, very expensive services, don't you think consumers will look at also the price point of it before they take a decision?
Okay. So two things. I saw a couple of questions there that whether it is affordable to middle class. Many of them, they are asking this. Second is means what's the price? Okay. So let me give you two examples. First is, and all of the franchisees who are listening, probable franchisees who are listening, our survey says that there are 5 crore people already there in India. Okay, they don't need any insurance support, any cashless things. Whenever there is an emergency, they will simply pay from their own pocket and then buy a service from us, which might be in a range of 8 to 12 crore, 8 to 12 lakh rupees per transfer. So that number is 5 crore. They don't need any support. They don't want to go for a loan. They don't want insurance company, nothing. They will simply buy it at in the price range of 8 to 12 lakh rupees. That is market number one. Market number two is, see, and everyone will agree to us, see, what we are targeting, and Arvind is also mentioned, we are targeting middle class people. And we always keep on telling that those who are in a middle class or a lower middle class, when there are only two incidences. If there is a marriage in a home or if there is a medical emergency, they act as if they are HNIs. So whether I have money or not, and if I am a middle class, that's a different story. But then my brother helped me, my relatives helped me, and I act as a HNIs. So that number is a 15 crore. So the market size, which is readily available in India today, is 20 crore individuals. And they don't need insurance. They don't need any help from anyone, either on their own or with their relatives and friends. They are able to afford this service. So those who are asking questions, who will buy it, let me tell you, none of the insurance companies is giving a single rupee today to them. None of the insurance companies is covering those expenses, and they are still buying the service. And aircrafts are not available. That's the reason we are coming very, very aggressively and inducting aircrafts. By the way, just for information who are listening, corporate jets flying VIPs, and we are in that business, so I know that very well. Corporate jets flying VIPs, corporate jets flying celebrities, they are in a selling mode. And the companies like my company, we are aggressive mode and we are inducting aircrafts. So try to understand, things are changing. Things, most of them, they have already changed. Demand is there, and we are only trying to respond to the existing demand. So I don't see to worry about whether we will get, and there is a market. There is a market in small cities. There is a market with rural rich people, and it is available. Maybe none of my competitor fortunately explored it till date.
Very helpful, Mandaji. Very important stats that you have shared, and I saw a lot of questions pertaining to the cost, so to say. Now, one of the statements that you made that brings me to my second question. You talked about a lot of tier 2 cities where the demand is coming, and we've seen, especially in these 60 days, because the bigger cities like Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, they have a good healthcare structure, infrastructure available. And we have seen bigger demand coming from smaller cities. My two questions as far as this is concerned. First is which locations of which cities today that you see which are the priorities for you to open, where you currently see a big demand coming in and which you're not able to service at this point in time. My second question is on the kind of treatments. For example, a city like Bombay is a center for cancer. A city like Hyderabad, we see liver patients going. City like Delhi, we have a lot of incoming heart patients. So when we look at these statistics, which are the kind of, from a associate perspective, one is tied with the hospitals and the other is the kind of treatments which require a bigger inflow of patients to maybe these cities or states. So what is your viewpoint on this?
Okay, before involving Dr. Abhay, let me tell you a couple of things on that. See, this is most of the transportations which is happening between the cities is a transportation for convenience, and it's a huge. So most of the time means we are catering to patients between Mumbai, and we are flying them between Mumbai and Chennai, or Mumbai and Hyderabad, or Mumbai and Delhi. All these cities, they have a very good medical infrastructure already available, but then they are using these services for convenience. Means they are staying in a city, lot of people are traveling, and something goes wrong when they are traveling, then they bring them by air ambulance. One. Second is, so all those states where medical infrastructure is not available, or the people think that, okay, for cancer, let's go to Mumbai, for patients for organ, let's go to Chennai, then this is a transportation. And it is happening from, let us say, Chhattisgarh, yes, a lot of transportation is happening. Karnataka, a lot of happening. Even a Goa, a small state like Goa, a lot of transport is happening. So that is number one. Number two is, I think we forgot to bring it to your notice. Why we need 10 aircrafts when my one aircraft is capable enough to do Chennai to Srinagar? Then why we are inducting aircraft and keeping it on every 500 kilometers? Let please understand what is happening. If we get an inquiry to transport a patient from Bangalore to Chennai, the charter cost actual, if the aircraft is parked at Bangalore, the charter cost is not less than 3.5 lakh rupees. Please understand. It's a 3.5 lakh rupees. Now you will come to know this, it is very affordable. But what is happening? Aircrafts are not available there. So aircrafts all the way are going either from Mumbai or all the way from Delhi. A lot of ferry cost we are adding to that transport, and then it is ultimately 10 lakh rupees, and anyway people are paying. So the moment why we are creating this momentum to put aircraft on every 500 kilometers, that will substantially reduce the charter cost. Why we need 10 aircraft? To reduce that. For us, the simple logic is, if we right now the average is between 5.5 lakh to 7 lakh rupees. If we bring it down to 3.5 lakh or 2.5 lakh rupees, the market size will be 5 times of whatever is the existing market size. So the entire effort, I want to take you to our vision. The entire effort to make it affordable to a middle class. That's true that only higher middle class people are presently paying and affording this service, but very soon we will be at that stage.
Great. Thank you so much.
When we have a fleet, and we already have 4 aircraft. So
very important point that you made. If you are, because you've been doing this for long, if you see, especially the last 2 odd months, and otherwise also, this industry faces a lot of clearance issues. Normal times, it needed only maybe a hospital discharge summary and a clearance from the aviation regulator. But in these times, the clearance also has become big, and there's a delay process. Recently, Ministry of Aviation also stated that it needs permission from the government. Now, airport authorities also have their own doctors to take advice from before it takes off, and many other local, I would say, clearances which are required. What role would a BA play in this, or your associate in the city would play? What role would be played by the company, or what support to a patient, because he's busy doing a lot many other things? Do you see participating in these too? Because some companies would take care of the local authority clearance, and while service providers like you would take clearance from the other authorities. Where do you see your role and the role of a associate in the local city coming in?
No, we are always getting a priority. Being it's a air ambulance, for all the clearances, we are always getting it on topmost priorities. So we don't see much of hindrance as far as the getting approvals or permissions from local airports. We are operating. We are transporting patients from really small towns. So we are not facing any issue in getting approvals. We operators are also in talk with the government that this should be a really a flawless or a easy process to obtain the permission and to operate the medical flights. And very soon, the policy will be in place.
Also, just to add, Sonia, in a normal scenario, air ambulance service is always given a top priority. So even the takeoffs and landings they are on first priority. All other aircrafts would stop. So there is a protocol that is followed for all air ambulance services. So yeah, so that's
very helpful, Arvinji.
yeah.
Any questions that you want to pick up? I think we have tried to cover as many as possible, and we are also running out of time. Any important question, Arvinji, Mandaji, that you think you want to pick up from the chat room? We can otherwise.
I have one question, and I think let me ask this, and this has been asked by people. So when is this deposit which you take gets refunded back to the franchisee?
The moment they decide that we are not working together, within 3 working days, the money will be transferred to them.
Okay. So
what we will do with their money?
Technically, for all our audience who's looking to invest, their only technical investment is 2 lakh rupees as an entire thing. And even if they are able to do maybe 3-4 referrals and I think they cover their money, then they're not at risk. So it's a good situation, because at this stage, everybody is very calculative, especially what the times going on. Everybody likes low cost franchisees. Everybody wants to get into business which doesn't have a lot of OPEX, so there's not running costs, rentals, employees and things like that, but they also want to cover risk. So it's a low risk model. The only thing you need to do is the first 3 to 4 months, 5 months, build your relationship in the market so that you start getting business and getting good references and so on. Very helpful. Now, I think we have already run out of time and there are still questions pouring in. I have particularly answered a lot of them, but still I think almost all markets we have got interest. Everybody is written from, I think, across from Punjab to Calcutta to Bihar. I'm seeing Jharkhand and a lot of western regions. South is almost all cities where people have. I think there is also somebody's asked if Lucknow and Kanpur would be collective, because they're like twin cities, can be covered from these, which I have taken a liberty to say yes, it can be clubbed because they're kind of twin cities. So I understand your point that you're not in the business of actually just making franchise. You're creating your own direct distribution, so people have better service. They are not dealing with these, so to say, unauthorized travel agents who misguide people, take money, and don't. And the overall confidence of a patient, especially at that moment when he's on the biggest need, and he needs of speed of service and also needs high quality. And at that time, if somebody is cheated, he feels even more let down. So it's a big cause, and it's a good work you all are doing. So before we close our discussion, so final word from all of you and Sonia. Mandarji, you want to say something? Your final words for our audience.
See, we have a very strong conviction on this business model. See, we decided to come into this field when Uttarakhand disaster happened. And we came to know that there is no one there, who is available with helicopters, aircraft or anything. And then we took a call that we must venture into it, and we are putting all our efforts. And I'm damn confident that our franchisee partners, investors, they are going to earn a lot for this service. A lot of demand is there. So yeah, those who are really willing to join, they are welcome. They are really welcome.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot for your.
Thank you very much. It has been very, very delight. Arvind and Dr. Abhay, you've been very quiet. You want to say something?
Dr. Abhay, go ahead.
No, I just assure that it will be a very genuine service. As Manda said, we are working on conviction, and we'll serve the humanity. We'll try to save our people, because a lot of people are coming from all over the world to India, to Mumbai especially, to take good treatment. So we want our people from our country to come to Mumbai and take a better treatment, or best treatment rather.
Very good thought. And I think that's what we should do. Actually, we're known for good service.
Yeah.
Arvind, your...
Yes, I think Mandar summed it up very well. And I think I have presented the entire proposal and the concept. most of, I mean, all the franchise partners who are, prospective franchise partners who are watching this session. Um, Trust me, this is a unique proposition, first time in India, uh, in a very different way, in a very aggressive way, uh, and there is a long way to go in terms of making a footprint across the country, and that's where our objective, and that's where we want to reach, and collectively let's make this happen, and I'm sure it will benefit all of you and the general community a lot, and it's for humanity. It's a great work through this service that we'll be offering to every possible citizen in need in the country. So thank you, for watching this session, and for your great support.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you so much, Mandarji, Arvindji, and Dr. Abhay. This has been a very informative session for all our people, and I see a lot of interest which have come from the cities that we wanted to come. I feel the India Air Ambulance service has come of age, and the EMS sector, which is the Emergency Medical Services, have evolved significantly over the last decade, so to say, owing to the efforts from the government, improved infrastructure, and more because of players like you who have come forward to make the patient experience worth a while. So we wish you all the best and look forward to having you spread your wings across the country with 500 kilometers of distance, which is your aim to get in. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your lovely panel and very good description. I think it has added a lot of confidence, understanding to our investors. But we always post this webinar. A lot of our investors, which is actually pouring in interest from all the markets, should spend now one-on-one time with you. So Arvind, we would like to take your time. Our team would coordinate and start organizing a little bit one-on-one discussions, because every city is a unique opportunity. Every city would like to know, and also people would like to know how they can start, what training, and especially these times, because we are all working and connected through digitally. How this can start right away. If somebody wants to just start a business right away, how you can facilitate, how you can train them, how you can get them going quickly. So our teams would get in touch with you today itself. We'll reach out to all our and hopefully we will work for Franchiseindia will continue to work with you to help you expand in the markets wherever you want to go. Archana, final word from your side.
So thank you so much, friends and families who have joined us. We got 72 queries. As rightly said by Gaurav sir, it's still pouring. Thank you so much, Mandarji. Thank you so much, Dr. Abhay. Thank you so much, Arvindji, for taking out time and sparing your and giving us the understanding. As rightly said by Dr. Abhay, you are actually doing a great job for humanity. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir, Sonia ma'am. It's been so many days. You are sharing your time and experience with all of us. With this note, I have just written a chat, like contact details where you can contact us after this call. As rightly said by Gaurav sir, we'll try to have one-on-one call with each one of you. Still, you can write back to us. I've shared my colleagues' detail with you. You can either contact me, Dheeraj, or Kanika at our respective email ID. Here's the detail for Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. If you guys like to contact them on a LinkedIn, here is the slide. I would just request Dheeraj to give us information about the webinar which is coming tomorrow. Yeah, so this is a webinar which we are doing on Monday. So we have again a great brand coming for each one of you. That's Plus Prime Consulting, India's first growing leadership training company. We look forward to have you on Monday. And tomorrow we requested Gaurav sir to have an interaction. It's a great session. Everybody should attend this, where Gaurav sir is directly talking to each one of you related to master franchisee. Gaurav sir, I would request if you can just share a few lines for this webinar.
For a lot of people who are looking to buy a master franchise for a global brand, we have a lot of global brands which are now available for the market of India, especially brands which would do well post-COVID. So I'm sharing my thoughts and sharing about 6 different brands with the audience. If anybody wants to join, 12 o'clock Sunday, tomorrow, that's the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gaurav sir. Thanks everyone once again for joining us. Look forward to have a great day ahead. Best wishes, stay safe, take good care of your health and your family. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.